On May 22, 2020, Pakistan International Airlines PIA Flight 8303 embarked on what seemed like a routine domestic flight. The Airbus A320, registered as APBLD, was scheduled to fly from Allama Iqbal International Airport in Lahore to Jinnah International Airport in Karachi, Pakistan. This route, a common one for the airline, carried 91 passengers and 8 crew members, all eager to reach their destination. Little did they know, tragedy awaited them as their aircraft prepared for its final descent. The flight was under the command of Captain Sajjad Gul and First Officer Usman Azam. Both pilots were experienced aviators, having logged thousands of flying hours. Captain Gul, a veteran pilot, had over 18,000 hours of flight time, while First Officer Azam had accrued over 3,000 hours. The flight crew, seemingly well-equipped to handle the journey, prepared for the descent into Karachi. As the aircraft approached its destination, air traffic control cleared PIA Flight 8303 for landing. The weather conditions were favorable, with clear skies and mild temperatures. Everything appeared to be proceeding smoothly as the pilots initiated their descent and prepared for touchdown at Jinnah International Airport. However, a series of fateful events would soon unfold, turning this ordinary flight into a horrifying tragedy. The descent into Karachi would prove to be anything but routine. At 2:30 p.m. local time, PIA Flight 8303 began its descent into Karachi. The initial approach seemed normal, with the pilots communicating with air traffic control. However, at 2:34 p.m. the first sign of trouble emerged. The landing gear failed to deploy correctly, causing the aircraft to make contact with the runway with its engines, a highly dangerous maneuver known as a belly landing. Despite the belly landing, the pilots managed to lift the plane back into the air for a go-around, a standard procedure in such situations. They informed air traffic control about the landing gear issue and their intention to circle around for another attempt. The situation, though serious, seemed recoverable. However, the worst was yet to come. During the go-around, the aircraft experienced a loss of power in both engines. This crucial detail, whether due to damage from the belly landing or another factor, wasn't immediately apparent to the pilots. They continued to attempt to control the aircraft, which was now losing altitude rapidly. At 2:40 p.m., just 6 minutes after the initial landing gear problem, PIA Flight 8303 crashed into a residential area near Jinnah International Airport. The impact, devastating in its force, claimed the lives of 97 of the 99 souls on board, leaving only 2 miraculous survivors. The crash site became a scene of chaos and heartbreak as rescue workers and emergency services rushed to the scene. The immediate aftermath of the crash brought a wave of grief and a desperate search for answers. What went wrong with PIA Flight 8303? The investigation, a complex and meticulous process, revealed a chilling sequence of events that highlighted not only technical malfunctions, but also critical human errors and communication breakdowns. The initial belly landing, while alarming, was not in itself a catastrophic event. Aircraft are designed to withstand such landings, and the pilot's decision to attempt a go-around was the correct one. However, the subsequent engine failure proved fatal. The investigation later determined that the engines had scraped the runway during the belly landing, causing significant damage. The investigation, however, didn't stop at the technical failures. It delved deeper, uncovering a series of missteps and miscommunications that compounded the situation. The pilots, despite being aware of the landing gear issue, failed to follow proper protocol for a belly landing, further damaging the aircraft. Furthermore, communication between the pilots and air traffic control was flawed. Critical information, such as the engine fire warning, was not relayed effectively. The cockpit voice recorder revealed a disturbing lack of situational awareness and coordination between the pilots. They appeared to be distracted and failed to prioritize critical tasks during the emergency. This lack of focus, combined with the communication issues with air traffic control, created a perfect storm for disaster. The crash of PIA Flight 8303 was not simply a mechanical failure, but a tragic example of how human error, compounded by communication breakdowns, can lead to catastrophic consequences. The investigation into the crash of PIA Flight 8303 was a painstaking journey to uncover the truth. Authorities meticulously examined the wreckage, analyzed flight data, and interviewed witnesses and experts. The goal was to piece together the sequence of events that led to the disaster and to prevent such tragedies in the future. The findings were a somber reminder of the complexities of aviation safety. They highlighted the importance of rigorous training, effective communication, and adherence to protocols. The lessons learned from this tragedy would go on to shape policies and procedures, aiming to make the skies safer for everyone. As we remember the lives lost in this heartbreaking event, we also honor the resilience of the human spirit and the relentless pursuit of truth and safety in the world of aviation. So, let's talk about the pilot license scandal. This was a shocking revelation that shook the aviation industry to its core. It was discovered that a significant number of pilots had obtained their licenses through fraudulent means. These pilots, who were entrusted with the lives of countless passengers, had not met the necessary qualifications or undergone the required training. The scandal raised serious concerns about the safety and integrity of the aviation sector. Authorities launched a thorough investigation to identify and prosecute those involved. The incident served as a wake-up call, highlighting the need for stricter regulations and oversight in pilot certification processes. Ultimately, it underscored the importance of ensuring that only qualified and well-trained individuals are allowed to operate aircraft. In the wake of the tragic event, several countries imposed flight bans on the airline. These bans had far-reaching consequences, affecting not just the airline but also the passengers who relied on it. The airline faced significant financial losses, and many employees were left uncertain about their future. The ripple effect was felt across the aviation industry, highlighting the interconnected nature of global travel. Despite the challenges, the airline worked tirelessly to regain its reputation. Through rigorous safety measures and compliance with international standards, it eventually managed to lift the flight bans. The return to European skies marked a significant milestone in the airline's journey towards recovery. It was a testament to the resilience and determination of everyone involved. However, the path to full recovery was not without its hurdles. The airline faced ongoing challenges, including financial instability and the need to rebuild trust with passengers. Uncertainties about future regulations and market conditions added to the complexity of the situation. Yet the commitment to overcome these obstacles remained unwavering. Reflecting on the entire ordeal, several key lessons emerged. The importance of stringent safety protocols, transparent communication, and continuous improvement became clear. Moving forward, the airline aimed to not just meet, but exceed industry standards. The path forward was one of cautious optimism, with a renewed focus on safety and customer trust.